Air Force, military denies pension, denies them, okay? Now, put them up, full mass. Why would they deny the pension of someone who has served? Who does that? Well, you see, they're trans, okay? Trans members are being forced out. They have served the nation. They have put their lives on the line. Some have been injured. Decorated soldiers. The U.S. Air Force said Thursday it would deny all transgender service members who have served between 15 and 18 years the option to retire early and would instead separate them without retirement benefits. Now, I'm going to let you digest that for a moment because there are many who will hear this story and you may have some kind of doctrinal or personal or religious belief that may not align with my own. But you know good and damn well, regardless of your, personal choice, anyone who works should be paid. Anyone who sacrifices should be honored. Put it back up. The move means that transgender service members will now be faced with the choice of either taking a lump sum separation payment offered to junior troops or simply be removed from service. Nothing. An Air Force spokesperson told the AP that, quote, although service members with 15 to 18 years of honorable service were permitted to apply for an exception to the policy, none of the exceptions to policy were approved, end quote. About a dozen service members had been prematurely notified that they would be able to retire before that decision was reversed. That's according to the spokesperson who spoke on condition of anonymity to discuss internal Air Force policy. A memo issued Monday announcing the new policy, which was reviewed by the AP, said that the choice to deny retirement benefits was made, quote, after careful consideration of the individual application, end quote. All transgender members of the Air Force are being separated from the service under the Trump administration's policies. The move comes after the Pentagon was given permission in early May by the Supreme Court to move forward with a ban on all transgender troops serving in the military. Days later, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, who did not honorably serve, announced a policy that would offer currently openly serving transgender troops the option to either volunteer to leave and take a large, as he calls a one-time separation payout, or be involuntarily separated. At a later date, Pentagon official told reporters in May that they viewed the policy as treating, quote, anyone impacted by it with dignity and respect. However, in late July, transgender troops told military.com that they were finding the entire separation process, which has included reverting their service records back to their birth gender, dehumanizing or open cruelty. Officials have said that as of December 9th, 2024, there were 4,240 troops diagnosed with what they call gender dysphoria on active duty. National Guard and Reserve Pentagon officials have decided to use the condition and its diagnosis as a main way to identify troops who are trans. However, the two are not an exact match. Not every transgender person has the condition. As a result, there is an understanding that the actual number of transgender people within the military is roughly 2 million troops, may be much higher. So under the latest policy, active duty troops have until June 6th to voluntarily identify themselves, receive a payout while troops in the National Guard. July 7th, Pentagon officials told reporters that they planned to lean on commanders and existing annual medical screenings to find any transgender service members who do not come forward. This is all quite ridiculous, is it not? They're trans service members. That's why I didn't introduce the story that way. They are service members. They are members of the military. They have been there 15 to 18 years. Those bombs and bullets, they don't discriminate. You know how many transgenders have died? Lives have been altered. And I guarantee you, the connection that exists between humanity, between people, is much more sacred than these differences that are now being utilized in order to turn people's lives upside down. There is still no reason to do what you're doing. I'm not even a military guy. I believe war is a made up framework for corporate America and their international allies. But damn it, these individuals are just trying to make ends meet. Shannon Leary, a lawyer who represents LGBTQ plus people in employment discrimination cases, says she expects lawsuits to challenge Thursday's decision. Quote, seems quite arbitrary on its face and cruel. She said, these military members have dedicated their lives to serving our country. Normally, Larry said, when early retirement is offered in the military, it's available to all members who have served over 15 years. She said she expects other service branches to follow the Air Force's path. Yeah, that's right. It was universally offered, except now to go after trans. And don't think that going after trans is going after transgender people. It's not. This is not what they're doing. It is a proxy, it's a power play. So if they can make you believe there's a such thing as a trans whatever soldier, if they can make you believe that, get you to start saying it and really believing it, now you have woke soldiers. They happen to all be black though. But see, they're woke soldiers. Same thing. Well, we got to get rid of the woke soldiers if we got rid of the trans soldiers, right? What does it end? The soldiers. What happened to that? This is what happens when a dishonorable man serves in a capacity of leadership he could not hope to grow into. Put him up. Logan Ireland, Master Sergeant in the U.S. Air Force, who has 15 years of honorable service, including a deployment to Afghanistan. Those bullets and bombs don't discriminate. They don't care if you're trans or not. Is one of the airmen impacted by the policy. Quote, I feel betrayed and devastated by the news, he said. Ireland said he was told that his retirement was going to be denied on Wednesday when his chain of command, quote, with tears in their eyes, told him the news. David, thoughts?
This is a hatred and bigotry, pure and simple, that the Trump administration is promoting and enabling and trying to get so many people to accept. And it is heartbreaking on so many levels because whether you support the military or you don't, these are people who dedicated their lives, their careers to a cause greater than themselves. They sacrificed, they died, as he pointed out. They served in combat. The only thing that mattered is, could they fly the planes straight? Could they fix the planes? Could they maintain them? Could they guide them? That's all. That was their job. And that we've gotten to a point now in this country where, in our name as Americans, our military is discriminating and injecting hatred and bigotry and transphobia and everything in our name. It is horrifying. And you know what? Just one more thing to be mad about in terms of the Trump administration and how they have turned America into, everybody's been so concerned for so long. Oh, what are we going to do about the people who are going to cross the border? Well, now we have to worry about what have we become? What have we become?
Man, it's very sad.